welcome to my channel. I'm Rebecca. I'm an animal communicator and spiritual medium. I've had a little bit of time off. I was celebrating my birthday and also just giving myself a bit of a break to spend some time in nature, connecting and grounding, and just to do some things for myself, which are so important. We get really caught up in the busyness of life, and I think sometimes it's really important just to step back and ask ourselves, what would I really like to do today? So I feel really refreshed. I appreciate some of you have maybe been waiting for a new video to drop, but I'm back now, and I have some new videos coming up which I hope you will join me for. Today I want to talk to you about the sacred wisdom of trees. This is a part 2 to the previous video that I did, and I have had so many conversations of interest with the trees as I, over the years, as I've spent time in nature. And I want to make this a series. I'll put it as a playlist so that as information is shared by them that I believe will assist the collective, or information that they want us to know to help us to live alongside them in harmony, I'll be sharing more of their wisdom as we go. So this one is a part 2. If you want to watch the other video, I will link it at the end of this one. And really, it was over the time that I was off. I was spending so much time in nature. It's always kind of my happy place. It's great for resetting. It's really great as well for good, clean air, especially if you live in the city. I'm blessed to live in the country, but if you do live in the city, I appreciate sometimes it's harder to get out into nature. But even if you could go to a green space, like a park, somewhere with trees, they're obviously working really hard to purify the air for us. So it's always really beneficial just to get out and share space with them. The trees also have a beautiful calming energy, and we have to remember that some of these trees are hundreds and hundreds of years old. They have seen many people walking past them, many animals. They have experienced a multitude of different seasons, different weather conditions. They may have been damaged by certain weather things, like storms, or struck by lightning. They may have been injured by humans. Trees are just beautiful. They have a lovely calming energy. They are always very, very willing, and I find this really humbling. They are very willing to take our sadness and our burdens. If we are feeling really stressed, you can kind of put your hand on a tree and explain how you're feeling, and they are really good transmuters. They will willingly take that distress, that sadness, that heavy energy, and they will push it back into the earth to be transmuted and alchemized, while at the same time gifting you a boost of healing and strength, by sharing their wisdom and their power with us, which I just always think is so selfless. They are always so willing to help, and it's just really a beautiful thing. So while I was out walking, I saw a very big big tree, and the name escapes me now. The conker tree. I can't even. My brain's not even thinking what it's called. A conker tree, and I was kind of looking up, and I absolutely love all the flowers, and just to see, like, this time of year where I am, you can see that the little conkers are starting to form, and everything is changing again. And so I was kind of looking up, appreciating all of this, seeing the bees, seeing little creatures walking around on the bark and the branches, and I suddenly noticed that somebody had tied like a piece of webbing. They'd tied a piece of webbing around a branch, and they'd created like a little hand loop. And it was kind of really obvious that was so you could kind of like put your arm in it, hold on to it, and then get a foot up on the tree to climb the tree. And my initial reaction was, I was irritated because it looked really ugly. This piece of webbing hanging from something natural, as a man-made thing hanging from something natural, it was out of place. It didn't really belong there. My first reaction to it was feeling a bit triggered, if I'm honest, and just thinking, annoying that that's been put there and it's been left there. But then I was reminded by Spirit that when I was a child, I had a big tree in my garden, and we had a rope swing on it. It was used, I don't know if you can still buy them. It used to be a piece of rope that we bought from a children's play place, and it had like a plastic seat, so you'd kind of just sit on it and hold the rope and you could swing. And it was tied to a really strong branch. It was like one of the main branches on this tree, and my sister and I used it for many years. So I was reminded of that, and it was like, well, hang on, like, you've been here, you've been a child. Remember the childlike wonder of how fun it is to climb a tree, to swing on a tree. Remember that children are not generally, they're not malicious. They're not looking at it as like they're going to hurt the tree. They just see something fun that they want to play with, and so that's their natural instinct. And so I was reminded of this, and I connected in with the energy of the tree, and I thought, well, who better to ask if they're bothered? It's all well and good me having my own opinions about it, but who better to ask than the tree itself if they mind, people climbing them, people swinging on them? How do they actually feel about it? And the message that came back was just really beautiful. And if I'm honest, what I said earlier about them, being willing to heal us and help us, I'm really not surprised at the answer that came back from them. But what they said to me was that they take pleasure. They take pleasure in our enjoyment of them. They want us to enjoy them, just as, the pollinators, the bugs, the birds, just as they get to enjoy the things that they produce, like the seeds, the flowers, the fruits. They want us to enjoy them. And they said that they are they are most happy when we are enjoying them, because it's a connecting moment that we are together. And so they said, as long as you are respectful and you're not harming us, you are careful in the way that you do things. And they were showing me, checking the branches for strength before you decide to climb, or if you see a tree that's very young, obviously it hasn't established itself fully, or if you see a tree that is perhaps struggling with a fungus or, some kind of condition that is perhaps weakening it, it's already dealing with a lot. So it's asking that we then step away and we don't interact in that way with it, because it already has a lot going on. A bit like if, somebody asked you to do a favor for them and you were already really overwhelmed with lots of work and you were really tired. They're just saying, could you be mindful that, we have other things going on as well. Just checking as well that you're not going to cause any harm to them, so that if you are tying something to them or you are climbing on them, you're using the strength of the tree. You're using its strength as a benefit, rather than kind of aimlessly climbing through or swinging on anything and not realizing that perhaps that's not the strongest part of it. Again, they were showing me, like with us, the things that we want to do. We like to do things that play to our skills and the areas where we are strongest. So they're just asking that we're mindful. If we want to do these things, they love us to enjoy them, but could we be mindful, give them a little quick assessment. And even if if you are more connected to nature, I would say place your hand upon the tree, just have that conversation. And it doesn't have to be out loud, but have that conversation with them of, I'd really love to climb you, or we'd really love to tie something on you so we could create a swing, would that be okay? And you will allow your energy to connect to your intuition, connect into everything that is connected, because we are a part of nature. Connect into it and see. And quite often you will get a very clear yes or no. And then you have to, even if you think it's the best tree, I really want to climb it, it looks so inviting. If you feel that no, then respect that and don't. And one of the things they said to me was, please don't carve things into us. They don't like, you'll sometimes see people carve hearts on them or their initials. And I appreciate some people just, they don't even think of it. It's just a bit of fun. Um, but they were showing me a bit like, if if you cut yourself, they were showing me the bark, but they were showing it to me as their body, as their skin. And it hurts them, is what they said. Please don't carve things into us. It hurts us. It's not pleasant. And they also said about their limbs, please don't pull our limbs off. Don't break our branches. Don't pull off our leaves. They have a cycle. They have a cycle and a process that they go through. And they wish, just like we like to be, left to get on with our own lives and go about our daily business. They don't want to be forced. So, pulling their leaves off before they're ready. They don't want that because it's painful. It would be like someone pulling your hair or, bending your fingers back. It's that kind of thing. And they just want us to be mindful of that. Something that they said following this, I was kind of like, oh, well, this will make sense to me. I'm very connected to nature, as you know, so I fully understand that everything has feelings and everything is going through its own process of growth and renewal and healing and learning. But after they said that, they then said, if one of our limbs should fall and you find it and you wish to create something with it, we are overjoyed. And what they were showing me was people that use wood for woodworking. I've got myself just behind me, if you can see, I've got a beautiful oak carved stand, which was custom made for me to hold a beautiful antler. And they were showing me, somebody making something out of a fallen piece of wood and creating something beautiful. And they said in those moments, they feel overjoyed because their spirit lives on within that creation, but also it is a meshing together of all that is. It is us becoming one with them, their wisdom and their beauty, melding together with our skill to create something even more beautiful, which to them is like, it's like a tribute to them, but also they're not going to waste. And they love it because they can feel that coming together of our energy. And even if we may not realize it, that is a moment where we are getting back to oneness, to being connected to everything. And that really surprised me because I hadn't really thought of that. I mean, I've seen amazing things created with wood, but I guess because I'd been in that mindset of, when the branches fall, they're either discarded because it's time or because they're damaged or injured in some way. I kind of felt a little bit like it was the end of a cycle and that they wouldn't be bothered anymore. You know how some people say, oh, when I die, I won't care what happens to my body because I'll be dead. It won't matter. I had that kind of feeling about it. So to hear from the trees that actually they are aware of these things that occur when their branches have been discarded or fallen, was just really beautiful and actually quite eye-opening to me. So I thought that was really, really lovely as well. So the trees do get sad. They do get sad if we abuse them. It does hurt them if we aren't caring. But they just said they are happy for us to enjoy them as long as it's always with kindness and love. And to remember that they love to share with us. They want to share, whether it be their flowers, their fruit, even the leaves that fall. They were showing me like the leaves that fall in autumn and the carpet of beautiful colours that it creates. They want to share it all with us. They love it. They know that there are people like myself who notice every season of the trees, who notice the tiny details. And that's why they do it, because they are trying deeply. They are a huge part, is what I was hearing. They are a huge part of this ascension and growth process for humanity, because even though there may be many people that just walk through the leaves or just walk by a fallen branch or just walk by a tree and don't even notice when it's in bloom, or the birds nesting in it, or the bees, even if that happens, they know that there will be others who do notice it all the time, but they also know that there will be one moment of significance that someone will notice, and it will change how they feel internally. And they're always waiting for that one moment, because they know that it will come and it will open the hearts of many, is what they said. And I thought that was just so lovely. It gave me some new things to think about today. And in sharing this with you, I hope that it gives you some new things to think about too. I love the trees, and something else with the trees is that they are a lot like the work I do with the animal kingdom. They have different personalities, and they have great wisdom to share from this and many lifetimes, and their personalities are all different, and just like us, they are all experiencing life in a very different way. You could have two trees of the same type side by side, and they are both experiencing life in a very different way, just like we are. So every single time I do any of this work, I'm just reminded we're all connected. It just always comes back to that. We're all connected. And the only thing upon the earth that doesn't realize we're all connected is humans. Humans have, and I'm still not sure, I'm still searching for the answers, I don't know why, but humans have detached themselves from the connection to ourselves, the connection to each other. And this is why, like Mother Earth, and I feel it on a daily basis now. I felt it a while ago. I can't remember if I posted a video here on YouTube. I think I did, when I did an energy update. Mother Earth is rising up, and she's rising up not only to take back what is rightfully hers, and to balance back out all of the things that we have done to harm her, whether intentionally or unintentionally, but she is also rising up to remind us of this connection to her, to ourselves, to each other. And that's going to just amplify. It's going to get stronger and stronger. And we're going to start seeing, like I said about the trees, waiting for that one moment when you will notice something, whether it's the colour of the leaves, the fragrance of the beautiful blooms, the fruit, the bees, the birds nesting in the trees. There will be something. There will be one moment for every person, is what I'm hearing, that will crack open their hearts and touch the hearts of many, and it will make us remember. So I leave the beautiful, beautiful messages and wisdom from the trees with you today, and I look forward to doing more work with them and sharing more of their lovely messages with you. I hope you found that interesting. Do let me know in the comments if you have ever considered, like what the trees were saying to me about when their branches fall and us creating from them, or climbing them, anything like that. Let me know if you love climbing trees, if you yourself or your children do. It's very freeing because it does connect us back to nature. I was always a bit of a scaredy cat as a child. I would only go up so high. I didn't like it, but my younger sister loved climbing trees. So yeah, do let me know. But I leave that with you with so much love from the trees. Their sacred wisdom is just beautiful, and I thank you for listening, and I'll speak to you again in another video. Take care.